Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. There is an uptick in people aiming at the pedestal of the Trinity in Barbados. And we all know the makeup of that Trinity: Mia Motley, Santia Bradshaw, Sandra Mason, the Trinity. And then there are subsets within that establishment that they have there in Barbados. I've encouraged Mia Motley to vet. Yes, she has to properly vet other females to become a part of her cabinet. She has no men right now in her cabinet. They're not men, they're males, not men. And you can tell that when that one crossed over, he is as girly can be. There's no man that can be found in such a girly kind of person. You know who I'm talking about, the one who crossed the floor. So there's a uptick now in their aim at the Trinity and the subsets of that Trinity. Now here you hear Patrick King. You're not going to hear it here, but he's talking about Carol Roberts and how she interacted with his daughter. It's always personal. With him, it's always personal, okay? It's nothing, and he's petty. Patrick King is probably the most petty of any person you'll ever meet in your entire life. Because sometimes when he's on a rampage and you try to get to the nitty-gritty of what started it, it's maybe because someone didn't talk to him. He may have spoken to someone and they didn't answer. Someone may have been in a spot that, he thought that they should not be in. It could be that, he called into a program and they ignored him. He is petty. And then he'll say, after he hears what I've said about him, he'll say, well, you can't come back to this hell. That's what he will say to me. I cannot come back to the central stage of hell. And I don't think he's hearing what he's saying. I don't think he really understands what he's saying, that he's like saying, oh, why don't you want to come back to a place where, there are rapists and there are thieves and fraudsters, and you could be burglarized and you could be, put upon, in a really bad way again. So he's ignorant too. Along with being petty, Patrick King is probably the most ignorant person you can find on social media. I'm surprised that he has not had a heart attack right there while the cameras are rolling. I'm surprised he has not had a heart attack. It can't be good for him. This is a voice note about me that I'm going to play. Sometimes this guy likes what I'm saying, sometimes he doesn't. And that's the thing about Barbadians. They want you to be jerking them off. It's a jerk off kind of culture. If you are saying something that they don't like you, they do not understand. For some reason, you do not understand that someone can have a dissenting view. You just can't grasp it. That someone can think differently from you. It doesn't have to be everything you think, that someone has to be just right there thinking that like you. Oh, the whole world must be like you? The whole world must be like you? And then in this voice note, he's talking about being like confident or overly confident, and his whole attitude about what I say is arrogance, because like I said, he expects me to be jerking him off. It ain't gonna happen, not in this life, not in any life. Now this guy here, he's on stage, he's talking about Mia. I did a video yesterday saying that he's a joker, okay? He's a joker, okay? And he's not a threat to the system there that has been set up in Barbados, and that's what engendered this particular voice note that I'll play. But they're aiming the males, like I said, you've never met a man. You've never in your life met a man. Anything that comes from a female, any issue that comes out of a female cannot be 100% man. There's the X, the female, and then there's the Y. It's like, why? How did this happen? The Y is a question mark. It's not quite. It's a defect. It's a defect. You've never met a man. Okay? So, like I said, the cabinet, me and Motley's cabinet, is not. It does not have any men on it, and I've encouraged Mia Motley to have a 100% female, the XX caliber. The XX caliber, not the X and then that defect. The XX caliber. You just vet females that are educated, that understands the world, that didn't bring in the issues of demons. Okay? They don't have a whole set of demons running around, because a lot of people think that that's what they're supposed to do. Your body, the female body, is being used to produce into this world, and then half of what they produce come out thinking that they should control the woman. The males think that they should control the woman. They should start wars. They should be members of a military, and they should do this, and they should and they should violate, and that's the issue that's coming from the woman, and a lot of women are beginning to notice it. A lot of females are beginning to notice that the wars and all of the unrest in this world comes from their issue. Something that they brought into the world. Even now in Nigeria, a whole set of guys will get on their trucks and their jeeps or whatever and go to a school and pick up all the females. And by the time they find the females 3 months later or whatever, most of them are pregnant. That is happening now, 2025. So who did those males come from? Females. They're defective issue from the female. Okay? So they're aiming at the Trinity. They're aiming at Mia Motley. That's all these people are talking about when they come online. It's all about the Trinity. Mia Motley, Santia Bradshaw, and Sandra Mason, and the subset of a whole lot of 100% female, the XX females. Okay? And the Y, they're not happy about the fact that females are asserting themselves as they should. As they should. I don't know what he's preaching about, but he was calling me and Motley's name and, carrying on. He's carrying on, like I said, about Carol Roberts. Let me just play this for you. But like I want to say now, Mia, shore up your cabinet with very, very strong females. Okay? You have no men in your cabinet. You'll be hard. You're not gonna find it. You're not gonna find it. Okay? So the XYs that you have there, you have to do with it and you have to deal with it. But try to find some very strong, and I mean mental, it's all mental. You need to find females, XX, that are strong, that can hold their own, that have taken agency. They have taken agency. No guy, no XY can come to them and say, you need me for this, you need me for that. They understand that they are gods in their own right. Females, especially black females, gods. Okay, so let me play this, yeah. But they're all taking aim at, Mia Motley and her group of females here This is about me, and let me play it for you. Okay, it's low. Let me turn up the volume. Maybe that's enough. Let me put it back to the beginning. Here
we go again. Another attack on Kemar Stuart with Sherry Veronica. Sherry Veronica is useless. And I don't hide my mouth. If Sherry Veronica is speaking truth, then basically I give her kudos. Right now, Sherry Veronica is talking nonsense. Because at the end of the day, nobody knows what's going to happen. Kemar Stuart could single-handedly win the whole election. Right? They're not worried about Kemar Stuart, Sherry Veronica saying. Right? But you know something? When the shocker come, they will be worried. Because you know, overconfident people, when the fall and hit hard. Overconfident people. People that got that, exhumed that ignorance. And Sherry Veronica need to stop putting out ignorant blogs and really put out factual and truthful things. Blogs to back the people who trying to make the difference, not trying to pull down the people who trying to make the difference. And this is exactly what Sherry Veronica is doing. Sherry Veronica need to wake up from she ignorant stupor for slumber.
Yeah, that's because he didn't agree with me on this particular matter when I talked about Kemar Stuart. Kemar Stuart is not a threat. If you look at Kemar, what happened there? If you look at Kemar Stuart, you're wondering like exactly what are you looking at? The Y, even the Y in the XY is not fully there. So, you know, he's saying that Kemar Stuart can win the election. Well, he's only, what do you mean win? He has a cabinet? I'm confused. Maybe he has some people, but I don't know if he has 30 people or 29 people. I have no clue. He's not an issue. Kemar Stuart is not an issue. And with the wiretapping being legal, maybe Mia Motley should keep an eye on this Kemar Stuart if this guy is saying that he's that powerful. Kemar Stuart is nobody. There are no men in Barbados. They're not men. They're not men. They're not men. You have X and the defect. Why? The why. Okay? So, keep on going on, Mia Motley. Like I said, if I were dumb enough to give over my power to anyone, and I'm not, I would vote for Mia Motley. I could never vote for her because I would not be there to vote for her. And, you know, we have to see what he says after I call him a petty dude. And I don't know who this guy is. And you know who this guy is. I think he nothing to worry about. Absolutely nothing to worry about. And they're saying that Ronnie Clark is supposed to be fired from Starcom. That's what having power does, right? I'm not saying that Carol Roberts should be so thin-skinned. That would be ignorant on her part. To do that and for me to allow that to happen is a sign of ignorance. But when you have power, that's what you do. That's what you do when you have power. So let's wait and see if Ronnie Clark is going to be fired from Starcom Network. You have to wait and see if he's going to single-handedly take the next election. He's a third party, you know, and you have to wait and see when he decides to have a heart attack. Right there, right on Facebook, when he's doing his Facebook Live, because he's hurting himself. What he does, it has to affect him physically, mentally and physically, the way he behaves. It's too petty to go unnoticed by his body. It's just too, he has taken pettiness to a whole different level, and his body must be reacting to it. He must be raising his blood pressure. He must be having heart issues. It has to be affecting him the way Patrick can behave. So this is the Trinity. The Trinity. And that's what people are afraid of. They're aiming for your pedestal. They're aiming for your pedestal. Get her centered. Okay. This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.